Here's Fire Station 31. It's in North Seattle, and today it's empty. Seattle Fire says that a union, Local 27, made the department aware of concerning results surrounding the air quality, specifically about mold levels and microtoxin levels. The city isn't taking chances. While the station is vacant, two separate companies will test the air quality.
So one thing we want is to be sure that the environment is safe for our firefighters that work at Fire Station 31s before we reoccupy the facility. That's very important. The last thing we want is our firefighters to be concerned about the environment that they're sleeping in and working in and training in to be a hazardous space.
The station has a complex history. A number of firefighters who've served here have reportedly become sick with cancer or other diseases. In fact, the most recent tests were paid for by the local union because they claim the issue has never been resolved. One of the questions that comes out of this, how will emptying out a fire station affect response times? The chief says, frankly, it will. He says based on his experience, it could slow services by up to a minute on average. In downtown Seattle, Sebastian Robertson, King 5 News.